Hello, everyone, and welcome to Watch Addict Ranveer Sharma.
Welcome to the debate. We are diving today into the criteria used to define the top 5 famous affordable watches in the world. And this list, well, it's intellectually fascinating, I think, mainly because of its huge internal contradictions. It's kind of bizarre, isn't it? That a humble, like $20 Casio F91W sits on the same iconic list as a complex automatic dress watch like the Orient Bambino.
Indeed. This list really forces us to question what we truly mean by value in timepieces. It covers extreme resilience, everyday function, and specialized elegance. But if they're all iconic and affordable, they must share some kind of central metric that defines their status, right?
Absolutely. And that is the core disagreement here. When we're selecting the most iconic, affordable watches, should the primary metric prioritize broad functional utility and extreme widespread affordability? That's what I call accessible value. And that's represented chiefly by the mass market quartz models.
And this is my position, should the focus be on maximizing mechanical sophistication and intrinsic worth, but at a minimal price point, a concept I'm calling disruptive value, because that's where the automatic models frankly truly shine. I'll be arguing that iconic status in this context is ultimately defined by the engineering achievement, not just the low price tag.
And I'm going to argue that functional utility and universal mass appeal are what really define iconic affordability. Let me explain why the quartz faction, Casio and Timex essentially provide the definition here. Look, for a watch to be truly iconic and affordable, it has to achieve global adoption, guaranteed dependability, all without requiring a steep learning curve or, specialized maintenance. This is the core of accessible value, and the whole argument is cemented by the Casio F91W and the G-Shock DW5600. These use quartz movements, meaning a simple battery, a vibrating crystal, giving incredible, standardized precision. They need almost zero attention for years.
Okay, I see why you think that, but let me offer a different perspective. While quartz models certainly satisfy that requirement of extreme affordability, sure, the models that offer genuine, enduring value are the ones providing luxury features and complex mechanical engineering at a budget-friendly price. The source material itself seems to imply a pursuit of sophistication, doesn't it?
But let's look closely at the Casio F91W. It's described as a legendary digital watch, known for its extremely low price, sure, but also its 7-year battery life. Its mass adoption by students, professionals, even military personnel across the globe, that's what makes it iconic. Its maximum utility and logistical simplicity. The quartz movement here isn't a limitation, it's a feature. It's the highest expression of reliable timekeeping made accessible to absolutely everyone.
That scale is certainly impressive, I grant you that. But iconic value for me is about complexity made accessible. The mechanical watches like the Seiko 5 Sports, they feature an automatic movement. That's a tiny, self-winding mechanical engine powered just by the wearer's motion. Now that level of complexity, delivered cheaply, it inherently offers a superior intellectual and engineering value compared to a simple battery-operated circuit board. The Seiko 5 series is explicitly called the gateway into mechanical watches, offering superior value precisely because it provides mechanisms that used to be reserved for luxury goods.
You're focusing on the movement itself, the internals. But I want to focus on the performance ceiling you get for the price. Take the G-Shock DW5600. It's famous as one of the toughest watches in the world. It offers unparalleled durability through extreme shock resistance and 200-meter water resistance. Now, that combination of extreme utility and robust construction offers an incredible value proposition that, frankly, no mechanical watch can even approach at this price point. It's a tool that survives extreme conditions, an accessibility achievement far more universally valuable, I'd argue, than a display case back showing off some gears.
That's a compelling argument about toughness. But have you considered that the Orient Bambino, with its in-house automatic movement and that distinctive domed crystal, achieves its iconic status by providing genuine elegance and, importantly, vertical manufacturing achievement to the budget shopper? It represents a successful disruption of luxury norms. Maximum affordability doesn't always equal maximum iconic value. Sometimes the value lies in how close you can get to the top of the pyramid for the absolute lowest cost.
Your point on complexity actually makes me wonder, though. Can something truly be iconic if its only achievement is being, well, simple?
I would argue that iconic status must be rooted in achievement, yes. A simple tool can be practical, sure, but the iconic status of the mechanical watches, Seiko and Orient, these are highly respected Japanese brands known for reliability and precision. It rests on their engineering pedigree. They managed to make a device with, hundreds of tiny interlocking parts and keep it accurate and affordable. The Seiko 5 Sports offers long-lasting performance and mechanics specifically tailored to enthusiasts who actually appreciate engineering, not just a basic time function for the masses.
That's an interesting point, though. I would frame it differently. Iconic status is defined by reliability and adoption across the broadest possible user base. The F91W's retro design has remained popular for decades precisely because of its unwavering practicality. And furthermore, consider the Timex Weekender. It achieves iconic versatility through practical features like the Indiglo backlight and those interchangeable straps. Practical functionality, customization, visibility, immediate convenience, that often trumps movement type in the truly affordable space.
But are those features really comparable to the heart of the watch, the movement? When we talk about engineering achievement, we have to look beyond a simple backlight or a strap. The Orient Bambino provides sophistication, yes, with a trade-off. It's described as perfect only for formal occasions, which limits its utility, I concede that. But that specialization is precisely where the value is delivered. It's a dedicated, sophisticated aesthetic device. Whereas the G-Shock, for all its robustness, is fundamentally just a piece of durable, standardized hardware.
But that very specialization is the friction point. The true measure of iconic accessibility is its universal relevance. The G-Shock's robustness makes its value universally recognized across all lifestyles, from the desk job to the battlefield. The Bambino's utility is basically capped the moment you step outside the office or a formal event.
But that functional limitation is exactly why its achievement is so significant. It delivers that high level of specialized elegance affordably. It redefines style accessibility.
Okay, let's pivot then, because this difference in utility brings us directly to the technical trade-offs inherent in this whole value equation. The tension between durability and elegance really exposes the, let's say, financial difference between these two approaches. Here's the problem with elegance at this price point. It often costs you the one thing the truly affordable watch absolutely must have: durability. I would posit that durability is a non-negotiable aspect of iconic affordability because it eliminates future costs. Right? If a watch is affordable, it must be reliable and durable enough to withstand daily life without unexpected replacement or, crucially, servicing fees. The G-Shock's reputation for being extremely durable, having that robust construction, offers unparalleled guaranteed performance.
I agree. The G-Shock offers supreme durability, but that durability is fundamentally built on simplification. It completely bypasses the complexity inherent in running a small oscillating mechanism on your wrist 24/7. When you buy a mechanical watch like the Seiko 5 or the Bambino, you are inheriting the cost of that complexity, things like eventual servicing, potential sensitivity to shocks. The fact that they can deliver this complex mechanism at an affordable price, knowing those mechanical risks exist, that, to me, is the ultimate value proposition. They are giving you a challenging, high-reward technology cheaply.
But the sheer cost advantage of quartz technology cannot be ignored here. The F91, the Weekender, they offer extreme convenience because you get years of service before a simple, cheap battery change. The mechanical watches, however, have a power reserve. A limited time they run off the rest, and ultimately they require potentially costly servicing, maybe every 5-10 years, to maintain precision. The quartz models eliminate that massive recurring cost barrier. The G-Shock isn't just cheap up front, it's cheap to own. That's the real definition of accessible value.
I come at it from a different way, though. While the G-Shock offers unmatched durability, sure, The Bambino offers essential style for the professional, a style which itself serves a critical utility in modern life, wouldn't you say? It combines elegance, reliability, and affordability in a way that serves a distinct and necessary function in the affordable market. And furthermore, look at the physical achievement of the Bambino. The material specifically calls out the domed crystal. Producing a curved, visually luxurious piece of glass or acrylic at this mass-market price point requires manufacturing optimization that is arguably more difficult than simply encasing a standard digital module in resin. It's specialized engineering, but for aesthetic ends.
And yet, that specialization, that complexity, leads us directly to the final point, the logistical trade-off in reliability, specifically concerning that mechanical complexity and the resulting warranty structure.
Exactly. While all 5 brands, Casio, Timex, Seiko, Orient, are globally trusted, sure, the mechanical brands arguably require greater long-term trust regarding precision and service infrastructure. The source material highlights this friction point quite clearly, noting the Seiko 5 sports warranty can be a 1-2 year warranty depending on the seller. This variability is crucial, I think.
That variability isn't a feature, it's basically a warning sign for the affordable buyer, isn't it?
I'd say it's the necessary logistical friction point inherent in delivering that sophisticated value. Because these automatic watches are often sold through diverse international channels, yes, you gain greater mechanical complexity, but you might risk variability in support. It highlights the inherent trade-off the buyer accepts when pursuing what I call disruptive value. You prioritize the mechanism itself over perhaps standardized global support.
I'm not convinced by that line of reasoning because the core strength of Casio and Timex is that standardized utility and guaranteed dependability. The fact that the warranty on the simple quartz-based models, the F91W, DW5600, Weekender, is consistently 1 year on manufacturing defects just proves their standardized global utility. The simple construction inherently leads to reliability supported by the brand structure. The fact that the Seiko warranty varies just confirms that mechanical sophistication requires more specific, non-standardized handling compared to the guaranteed, plug-and-play simplicity of the Quartz offerings.
That variability simply reflects the complex sales channel required to deliver that level of mechanical value at such a low cost. It is, I maintain, a necessary friction point in the pursuit of affordable sophistication. The buyer is often happy to accept that small logistical risk in exchange for the sheer engineering achievement they get on their wrist.
And it's precisely that friction which confirms, for me, that maximum iconic affordability is best defined by minimum friction and maximum utility. The G-Shock is described as a must-have in any collection, partly due to its universally recognized guaranteed reliability, which is reinforced by that clear, unified brand warranty structure. So to summarize my perspective, the core definition of famous affordable really rests on maximizing functional utility, what I've been calling accessible value. This is demonstrated perfectly by the extreme upfront affordability and the proven standardized durability of models like the Casio F91W and the G-Shock DW5600. These watches achieve their iconic status through simplicity, mass appeal, and universal hassle-free performance.
And to summarize my position, while utility is undeniably important, yes, the true intellectual interest, and, I believe, the long-term iconic status for the enthusiast, lies in maximizing mechanical value at a low cost, what I termed disruptive value. The very inclusion of the Seiko 5 Sports and the Orient Bambino on this list shows that iconic status can absolutely be achieved by successfully providing highly sophisticated features, automatic movement, in-house mechanics, a luxury aesthetic, making mechanical accessibility the true measure of iconic affordability for the, let's say, discerning buyer.
Well, we certainly have two compelling yet quite opposed criteria for judging value in the watch world here. It really boils down to, do you value the breadth of accessibility or the depth of the engineering achievement more?
Indeed. But ultimately, I think we can agree the list successfully covers watches across different essential styles, from those digital classics to elegant dress watches, offering diverse criteria for the listener to consider when they're assessing the meaning of value in timepieces for themselves.